Alright guys, welcome once more to my YouTube channel. My name is ABO. In this video, I'll be explaining to you what you need to understand about ABO and CBO. Okay, I'll be giving you a structural, to structure your campaign, strategy you're going to use to structure your campaign, when you want to use CBO or when you want to use ABO, and then the best way and the best pattern you can actually make use of in terms of making your campaign much more profitable and then well structured. Okay, so this is it. My name is ABO. Click the like button, comment if you have any question, and as well subscribe to my YouTube channel to support me as well. Okay, now let's use this. Okay, what is ABO? Okay, many a times people tend to ask questions, they don't really understand ABO or CBO, don't really understand the difference, and they don't really understand how to make use of them. So now, what is ABO? ABO is defined as asset budget optimization. Okay, asset budget optimization. What does it mean? It means you want to put your budget in the asset level. Okay, you are putting your budget in the asset level where your budget will be used accordingly. Okay, then what is CBO? CBO basically means cost budget optimization. This is in terms of trying to optimize your campaign cost effectively. Okay, you want to put in a cost that will actually go around the campaign. So the cost of running your ad is what you want to use to optimize every campaign you are running. That way your budget will allocate more to the best performing campaign. So let's say you have three campaigns you want to run. Let's say you have three campaigns you want to run now, and these three campaigns have different interests, maybe have different objective. Let's say you under it you have a lookalike audience, then under it you have, let's say, audience website visitors, for the 30 days. Okay, and then under it again you have ad engagement. Okay, now you want to structure this campaign in a CBO. Okay, what you have to do here is this, because you want a budget that will be optimized accordingly, a budget that will run across. Okay, you want to put all these three in a different campaign, but the cost of running them will now be segregated accordingly throughout these three different type of audience. So let's say you have a $5 budget for this campaign, which is a $15 budget. You have a $15 budget to run for these three campaign, each one taking $5 each, taking $5 each, which is $15. Okay, now you want your campaign to run across this campaign. So now once it comes to ABO, what you have to do here is to set your campaign differently. Okay, in ABO you set your campaign differently, whereas in CBO you break all these campaigns together and then give them a particular budget. So let's say you have a daily budget of $15. So instead of allocating each audience $5, instead of allocating each audience $5, you want to put all of them together and then give them $15, so that your $15 can actually go across this campaign, and then the best one amongst them will be the one winning the budget, thereby making it much more efficient to get better results. Okay, so that is basically what ABO and CBO mean. ABO means where you set your budget in the asset level, each audience, each campaign taking a particular budget you want them to take. Okay, you are just giving them the budget, allowing them to function on their own. Okay, this one, you're not giving Facebook the authority to do whatever they want them to do. You are giving the campaign the objection to work on their own. But in CBO, this is where you do more of allowing Facebook to give you the better results out of your budget and in those campaigns you are running. So now you have a $15 budget. You want your $15 budget to run across 3 different type of audience, and then the best audience will consume most of the budget. Now let me show you a practical aspect of it. So now we are in my ad account. Now I'm in the campaign level. Now I want to run a ABO campaign. Okay, this is an ABO campaign. Let's see, I edit now. Now I want to run an ABO campaign. So what do I do here now? Because I want to run an ABO campaign, I will not take this aspect. I'll go next. I'll click on next. Now here, now what do I have to do here? Because I'm running an ABO campaign, I will set my budgeting at the campaign at the asset level. Here is where I want to check my my budgeting now. So I will have to set it, let's say 2,000 naira, which is $5. I would set it as $5 campaign, or 2,000 naira in our currency. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to set the budget in the asset level, so that each campaign, each audience we want to run accordingly. So I want to select the type of audience I'm running here. So I'll come here, and then, so let's say we are selling a cap. Okay, let's say we are selling a cap, and I want to run a campaign for this. So I will come here and I will select cap. Let's say this is the type of audience we are running this ad to. I will select one audience, which is one interest, and then I will set my targeting, set my gender, and then every other information I want to check. Okay, and then once I'm through, I will now go to the next stage, which is the ad level. But now what you want to set here is what you want you all to understand is how to set your ABO. Now I've set the budget at the asset level. What I will have to do here is to continue duplicating this campaign. Okay, I'll continue to duplicate this campaign, allowing each interest to work accordingly. Like here we use cap. You have to identify it. Okay, then I want to duplicate it, because we have different interests we want to test out, and the rest we will now have to duplicate it to actually allow our budget to run accordingly. Thereby we can actually identify the best performing campaign and the best way to understand how to grow our campaign, scale up our campaign, and many other informations you might want to know. So now I might want to set another aspect, another interest of my type of audience. So I will delete this one, but make some suggestions here. I will remove this. And then I will now change my name there, so that I can actually identify the campaign. So I will also close it. So this is how you structure an ABO campaign. You allowing the budget to go accordingly. So you are allowing the budget to run across all each particular one, so that you identify the one that's performing well, identify the interest that is giving you the better results, and then you are trying to use the particular budget to allocate to each type of audience. That way you allow them to function at their own pace. You allow them to give you the results you want, and then you kill off the one that is not giving you the results. And that is how to structure an ABO campaign. Okay, in terms of ABO, you allow each campaign to go accordingly. So now what what happens when we talk about CBO? The CBO, which is cost budget optimization, where we have to allocate our budget in the campaign level. Now, this is what we do here. We create a new campaign for CBO. Once again, my name is Obiamamunachi. Subscribe the button if you haven't subscribed. Comment, share, and then if you have any questions, you can as well ask me. Okay, but let's say we select our objective, which is conversion. Now, because we want to make use of CBO, I believe you've understood about ABO. Because you want to make use of a campaign budget optimization, okay, or cost budget optimization, whichever one you want to call it, you can actually call it. So you can call it campaign budget optimization, or you can call it or cost budget optimization, anyhow you want to name it. I like to call it cost budget optimization because it's cost effective. Gives your cost of running ads much more proficient in terms of getting you results. Okay, so now we want to run a campaign budget optimization. Now we have to tick this. Remember, when we selected for ABO, we did not tick this because we actually did our budgeting at the asset level. Now we want to do a CBO campaign. We now have to select this, and then we now select the cost of it. So now, like I initially explained to you, because we want to run three campaign, each one running at $5 each. So like I've explained to you here now before, this campaign is running 2,000 naira each for ABO, 2,000 naira each. The heart interest and the cap interest, they are running on their own. Okay, but now, because I want to set them in the CBO campaign, which is the campaign level, what I'll have to do here now is to select this. Okay, let me rename this now. Now, because I want to spend $5 each on each campaign, and resulting to 3 campaign. Okay, now what I'll have to do here is this. Instead of allocating each particular campaign $5 each, $5 each, I will now have to bring all the budgets under this level. So instead of allocating $5 each, making it $15, I might want to bring the budget here in the campaign level. Okay, so instead of giving them each interest $5, I will now have to make it $15 here. Okay, I will now have to make it $15. So in Nigeria, so now my budget now will run across these different campaigns without anyone having a particular budget on its own. Now I'm trying to allow Facebook to allocate my budget, or to deliver my budget to the ad that is performing much more better. So now I've set this up. I will now click next, and then I will now start to set my interest here. Okay, now I will select the heart. Okay, I'll close it. So this is it. We This one is for hearts. Heart CBO. I also have to duplicate it. Okay, I'll duplicate. Okay, now we've duplicated the campaign. We'll have to change this to card. Okay, so this is it. We've changed it. As you can see here, we didn't set any budget here. We didn't set any budget here in the asset level. That is the how efficient CBO is. You don't need to set anything again in the asset level. So that is how CBO works. You want to allocate the budget in the campaign level. Okay, you set the budget in the campaign level, and then allowing the budget to run across each particular asset, giving room for Facebook to optimize for the best. So let's say you have 3 campaigns under a CBO, and then out of the 3 campaigns, 2 are performing better. Facebook tends to allocate your budget to those 2 that are performing better. Okay, so you see how efficient it is. It's no longer under your control. You're allowing budget. So whichever results, using your budget. So whichever interest that is not performing well, Facebook doesn't allocate the budget to it. Likewise, in the arts level, where you have to put in your creative in terms of a video, image, carousel, and screens, any type of creative you want to use. So that is how CBO and ABO works. But now let's talk about how to structure your ABO and CBO. I've already described that to you. You structure your CBO in the ad level, and then allowing the budget to run across each asset. While in the ABO, you structure your budgeting in the asset level, allowing each campaign to use a particular budget. Okay, so that is how CBO and ABO works. So when do you actually make use of this? That's the question. When do you make use of a CBO and ABO? So when do you make use of CBO and ABO? It's very important you understand when to use it and when not to use it. Because if you can understand when to use it and when not to use it, it will give you the understanding that on how to place your campaign effectively. It will give you the understanding of how to place your campaign effectively. Okay, use ABO when you want to test. Use ABO when you want to test. Let's say you have multiple interests you want to test out. Okay, you have multiple interests. You have multiple interests you want to test. Okay, you want to test them differently. Okay, you want to test them differently so that you can actually understand the one that is giving you better results. Okay, you allow each one to run across its own. That is the best way to actually structure and make use of ABO. You have a budget, you want to structure it so that they can actually accommodate properly. Okay, you can also use it when you have a big budget. Okay, if you have a spending budget of, let's say, $50 to $100, okay, you want to structure your campaign that same way. That way you can actually identify the best interest. Okay, helps you to identify the best interest. It helps you to identify the best interest, because when each interest is running on their own, that way you can understand the one that is performing better. Okay, if this one is getting you results, this one is getting you results. If it's not getting you results, you also know that it's not getting you results. That way you can actually kill off unperforming ad and then scale up the one that is not performing well. Okay, it also helps you to scale up your ad. Okay, it helps you to scale up in the sense that if, let's say, you have a budget of $5 in the beginning, you might want to increase it to $15 approximately. $15 plus. Okay, that way you can actually get more of a fast track results. It help you to scale up your campaign, because you understand that this particular ad is giving you results. You want to increase the budget. Okay, scaling up your ad helps you to increase the budget. Helps you to increase the budget in order to actually optimize a performing campaign. Helps you to increase the campaign because it's giving you a better result. Okay, it also helps you to kill unperforming ads. Okay, that way you can actually kill off any unperforming ad because it's not giving you the results you need. Because it's not giving you the results you want. Instead of wasting your budget on it, you have to kill it off. Okay, kill it off because it's not performing, and then bring up more interest, bring up more audience, and then grow more in terms of targeting your audience, reaching out to the right audience. So because your budgeting is running across each particular interest, that way you've identified the one that's performing well, you've identified the one that's not performing well, and then you kill off the ones that are not performing well. That way giving you room to use your budget accordingly, and then understand more of your audience and your ad performance. Okay, that is going to actually use of ABO. So when do you make use of CBO? Now, when do you make use of CBO? Basically, I would tell you to make use of CBO is mostly for scaling up ad. CBO is basically for scaling up your ad. Okay, now you've identified the budgets, you've identified the interests that are giving you better results. Okay, once you've identified them, you add them up into your CBO. Okay, merge okay, now once you merge them together into your CBO because they are performing well, and then allow your budget to run across them. Okay, now you have 5 interests and 3 interests are performing well with a range of $5 each. Now you bring them together and then set your budget in the campaign level, allowing them to run across the best performing one. So out of the 3, the best performing one will then consume the budget. And even if all of them are good, doing well, it will also give you the room to actually Facebook to actually optimize your ad to run across each and every one of them. So as you can see here, CBO enables you to scale up your ad, to increase your budgeting and the rest. Okay, it also helps you to increase your budget as well. So once a campaign is performing well, once you put them into a CBO, you increase the budget. Okay, once you put them into CBO, you increase the budget automatically. Okay, you understand, you can raise the budget times 2 of what of what your campaign was running before, because this campaign is performing well. You increase the budget. Okay, you increase it in order to grow more in terms of giving you better result, because these are proven interests that are getting you result before. You increase it and then watch it and see how it performs. Okay, that is basically how you can actually use CBO. You can also use CBO when you have low budget. Okay, when you have low budget, you can also make use of a CBO, because maybe you have $10, maybe $20 in ad spend. You don't have much to go by. You can put all your interests in a CBO, and then allow your budget to run across while you kill off on you put in all the ads. Okay, so once you put in all this in one CBO, you tend to watch it to see the ones that are not performing well, and then kill the ones that that are not performing, and then start more interest to target, and then increase in your targeting. Okay, so you can actually use CBO when you have low budget. You put everything in one campaign and then target them, allowing Facebook to give you a better result. So that is basically how you can actually make use of CBO. Scaling up your ad, emerging winning assets into a CBO, increasing your budget. Okay, you can increase your budget to times 2 of it. Okay, that way Facebook will optimize more and then give you a better result. And when you have low budget, you can as well use CBO, integrating all your interests in one CBO and then allowing the budget to run across. So that is basically how you can actually structure your campaign, giving you the better overview of how ABO and CBO works. Now, what are the best practices and when you should apply it, which is what I've already explained to you. Or apply your campaign, know when to use ABO, when not to use, know when to use CBO. That way you can actually understand how everything works and how to perfect your campaign. So in conclusion, I suggest you are, like I've told you, or in an in-depth explanation of how to actually make use of CBO and ABO. Know when to use them, know when to actually key your ad, know when to use CBO, know when to use ABO. So for ABO, for testing multiple interests differently, helps you to identify the best interest. It helps you to scale up your ad. It can help you to increase the budget. Okay, you can increase the budget by 20%. Okay, helps you to increase the budget by 20 to 30%. That way, in 3 days. That way you can actually understand how your campaign is working, and then helps you to increase the budget as well. It also helps you to skill off unperforming ads. So when an asset is not performing, maybe an interest is not performing well, you kill it off, okay, and then create a new one, allocate some budget to it. So when to use CBO, it helps you to scale up your ad. When you have found the winning interest, you merge them together. You merge them together into your CBO, and then allow the ad to run across well. So also helps you to increase the budget. You can actually increase the budget times 2 of it, okay, and then allow Facebook to give you a better result. You can also run CBO when you have low budget, okay, including everything in one CBO, and then putting in the budget there, allowing Facebook to optimize and give you the better result out of those interests. So that is how you can actually run your campaign using ABO or CBO. So like I've explained to you earlier, it's quite easier. Okay, once you start to implement all these things, it makes it much more easier to structure your campaign effectively. It makes it much more easier to identify the winning interest, the winning audience, and then kill off the underperforming audience. It helps you to scale up your ad. It helps you to increase your budget. Knowing effectively how to implement CBO and ABO helps you to optimize your campaign, give you a better overview of how your campaign is running. Okay, so that's it for today. Once again, my name is Obioma Munachi. If you like this video, please like this video, subscribe to this my channel, comment if you have any questions. If you have any video you want me to make as well, you can actually comment in the comment section. Subscribe to my channel to support me. My YouTube channel is quite new, and I believe you guys will support me as well. So thank you once again, and if you have any question, don't hesitate to ask me. All right, see you guys next week. See you all next week. Okay, I'll be making a new video next week, so expect it soon. Okay, thank you. I have